Hello, friends. Welcome to Stamping Flair. My name is Rochelle Leedsmith. I'm a Stamping Up demonstrator in Melbourne, Australia. Thank you for joining me for this World Card Making Day presentation. My presentation is about Christmas in Australia, Sri Lankan style. I am originally from Sri Lanka, have been in Australia for 36 years. But I wanted to share a little bit about my background and how I have incorporated certain traditions and brought my heritage into uh, my Australian culture and uh, intermingled the two cultures together, being in Australia and got the best of both worlds. So today, my presentation I am sharing with you is using the Piece to Use stamp set. But before I forget, I want to thank Stephanie for giving me the opportunity to present to you. And I'm so glad that I get to share with all of you, no matter where you are in the world. It's lovely that we can share together and create cards or whatever you are creating. It's lovely that we can be together. So the Piece to Use stamp set, I have chosen it as because it represents my faith. I am a Christian, and as a Christian, the birth of Christ is central to Christmas. And I have brought that in to, it still is and always will be. So I still celebrate Christmas with Christ as center. So um, I will share some um, of what I do during Christmas as I create with you. And I hope you enjoy my presentation. And please don't hesitate to ask any questions as we go along, and I will check through for and answer your questions or feedback. I'd love to hear from you. So this is the stamp set, and I'm going to be using my stamp apparatus. Now, although you don't need your stamp apparatus for this technique, it does enable you to get a better image, and I think it gives you better coverage, so to speak. So you will, that's what I've got. I've got it all set up just for uh, moving along with this presentation. The colors I am using are Coastal Cabana, and I did not want melon mambo, so you can see I'm creating on the fly here. I want polished pink and gorgeous grape. So those are my three colors. You can, and I'm going to show you some other examples I created with this same layout, and you you can see what I've done. So when just hopefully what I'm showing you, you can see, and I will share as I go along. So in Sri Lanka, we generally, my father was in Christian ministry, and so we had lots to do with Christian work. But we, as a family, went to church in the morning, and our day started with church, and then we came back and opened gifts. But we also did. I think this is a bit of a European tradition, and maybe because we had some British influence in our heritage, we opened gifts our gifts at midnight, so as it turned the 25th, so we'd stay up till on the 24th and open gifts um, on the 25th. So in Australia, so what I've tried to do, because we want to extend that gift giving as much as possible because that's so exciting, we I'm using Coastal Cabana here. I'm switching and I'm just inking up. So we open one or two gifts at midnight, and then we open the rest in the morning because we're trying to space that out, and of course all the excitement of the gifts. One thing we do have in common with is the weather in with Australia and Sri Lanka. It's pretty warm. It's probably guaranteed to be an extremely hot day in Australia, or in Melbourne, I should say. Um, uh, we always tend to get a pretty hot day. So with my lunch, I go both Eastern and Western because I just can't choose and I like everything. So I'm sure every family has like an overabundance of food during Christmas, but of course, um, I'm trying to get that little bit there. I do the ham. Uh, Sometimes I do the whole, like the glazed ham. Then I don't do turkey, but I do a turkey roll, but I don't do the roast as such because we don't have a big family. If at all, we have some friends, and it's a bit of a waste. And then I do the some prawns. Now, Australians tend to do like the whole prawn. I just tend to do some um, garlic prawns or something with some spice in it. So we go a bit of a mix there. And then I do some chicken roast or I do some duck as well. It's a bit of a mixed bag. I'm a bit confused. And then I do some biryani. I make some biryani, which is a bit of my heritage from Sri Lankan, but my background, I have my grandparents are from India. So we do a bit of that. And so we have some lovely mix of food, which of course lasts for days and days. Um, and it's good like that. And we enjoy singing carols. My partner's a musician, so we able to have some fun and singing carols. And I love Christmas carols. Who loves some Christmas carols? Um, November 1st, and I've got the carols going. What stage do you start your Christmas carols and your Christmas decor? I try to get the Christmas tree as soon as I possibly can. So I'm adding now some polished pink. So I am going over that Coastal Cabana. I did clean that up with my chamois. So you can see why you do having the stamp apparatus does enable this a bit better. As I said, you can do it without, but you can see me going over and over these images. So it's hard to jabber on about other things and then talk about this as well. So I'm trying to explain while I'm going on. So mixing this, the reason I am choosing these colors, and you will see in all the cards that I've made, is a bit of a summer, a pop of color, a bit of ice cream, sorbet kind of colors to get that tropical feel because in Sri Lanka the weather's warm, in Australia the weather's warm, and I think that's something we do have in common, even though in Sri Lanka it is probably our coolest part of the year, it's still pretty warm. And no matter where you are, you can bring your culture into um, the the country you are living in. I think it's nice to bring that and share your what you have, the good things of your culture into your your celebrations, and that's what I find. And lots of people, many people love learning about it, and it's great to be able to share that with friends and family. Okay, so I've got the Coastal Cabana polished pink, and then I can always go back and add some more there. Now I'm going to add gorgeous grape. I am just letting you know this is on the fly, so I have not tried this stamp with this color combo, but I just thought the colors went well. Just getting the wetness off. And I'll bring in my other blending brush. Just to want to get a bit of that color off. So I'm gonna if you haven't got yourself the stamp apparatus, you will find it quite useful for things like this, for restamping and stuff like that. I'm just going to blend that color a bit and wipe a bit off because I don't want too much of that gorgeous grape. Well, that wasn't much at all. It's possible my ink pad needs a little bit of re-inking as well. So I've been a demonstrator now just over 7 years, and if you like what you see, you can always check out my Facebook page or my blog. I do share quite a bit on there, and happy to help you in with anything you like. We've got lots of lovely presentations today, so make sure you check them out. Very talented people here, sharing lots of amazing ideas. I'm gonna just get that corner a bit. So this does take a little bit of time, and my next step is going to take a little bit of time as well. So I'm always I'm a layers girl with my stamping, and I just love adding lots and lots of layers on my projects. So I'm back with the polished pink. I'm just going to go over it. It's a fair bit of blending I'm doing, but it does give a better image and better blend as you go. And just dabbing that on because you can see a bit of white there. So my piece of cardstock is way bigger than I require, but it just enables you to have that magnet there. So I need to give this a bit of power there. Oops. Yeah, that's better. I'm just going to leave it there for the moment, and you can work with that. That's quite a sweet combo. I'm going to bring in my this is the stitch rectangles dies. Just going to cut around it. You can use your masking sheets, but I'm just using some washi. You can use post-it notes just to hold it in. So probably not your traditional colors and things, but sometimes I like to use something a bit different. Just going to move that up a bit. Then we'll cut this down because we want to make it fit in this mini, because that's what I've got in front of me. Now all the measurements will be on the PDF file. It's available. So make sure you take advantage of that. Just going to go back again just to make sure. That dripped a bit, but that's okay. You can hide that. If you have like a file, those sort of things can be covered up, and I'm just kind of rushing others. So you can use your heat gun as well. All right. Now the next thing I'm going to do very quickly is I've got my artistic mixed decorative mask. So I'm going to use this mask in it, and I've got a piece of basic white, and I'm going to just lay it down there. Got my Versamark, which is a gluey ink pad, clear, and we're just gonna go just very roughly, so it's at uneven edges on a diagonal. Gonna bring it out like that. Now I'm finding that that's a little bit too rigid, like the corners. It's too straight for my liking. So I'm just going to go a bit, so it's a bit uneven. Just with the brush. Just so it can give some movement to that. Bring in my heat gun. Okay, so now for our assembly, I'm going to have that on that. This stamp set, if I've done some, this particular image even works well with heat embossing, like in white, but it's quite nice. You can then color the images. I've die cut a deco rectangle already, and it's just gonna, I'm not sure what, I might do the blue first, or the Coastal Cabana, I should say. And just go on the outside, just to bring some of that color. And our blending brush is really good. I just add, it's one of my favorite tools. So good. And then this might not show much, but it is just enough to give a little bit of color. Coastal Cabana and Polish Pink is a great color combo. And I think it's great for my tropical look. And I'm going to try and remember to show you those other cards I created. It might not show much actually. Let's try and get that a bit on the sides. All right, so we're just going to glue that together. So my the reason I added the gold, I thought I'm mad for the masks. I love the masks. You can do so much with them, but the gold gave it that little bit of an Eastern touch. Then I have got a bit of Highland Heather Designer Series paper from the classic DSP packs, where you get in every color. They're good, like basics colors to have. Just gonna put that there. I just picked whichever side I like best in that. Oops. Now, it all ties in together when you have all the, actually, I'm going to put some dimensionals. Gotta have dimensionals. It's like the more the merrier. Now the next thing, more blending. Can you tell I love some blending? Right, so my card base, I just want to add a bit more depth to it. So I got my gorgeous grape. This is a Highland Heather card base. Now you could do it on, you would see you can do it on a gorgeous grape, but I'm just bringing in some of this gorgeous grape around. And it may not be much, but I like the look that it gives. And always start off your page when you're blending. Then you can add more color. Now I am rushing this, but generally with my blending, I would spend a lot more time on it. I've got a black matte. I do like some black mattes for just making these edges pop of it brings out the images. And when I do use black, if I don't want it really strong, I just have a very like 2 mil on either side. It's a very small border. Then I will glue that on. Lastly, a sentiment. And the sentiment I have chosen is Peace to You at Christmas. This is a tailored made tags die. And I'm just stamping that in Tuxedo. You could heat emboss that, just keeping it fairly simple. That's a bit wonky. So I did another one, but this could very well go wonky as well. In which case we will go with what happens. All right, that's not too bad. All right. The heat embossing makes that just a bit harder to stick down. And then we'll take our dimensionals off. We're nearly there, guys. So thank you so much for sticking with me. And I've stuck that a little bit higher than I intended to, but that's okay. We'll just go with that. So whatever happens on the day with me, and then just going to go like that. And you will see where this varies with my other cards. And I tied a bow with this gold ribbon earlier. Take your pick tool, put a glue dot. Instead of tying it through the actual hole, I just put the glue dot on the side and stuck that down there. So that's our card nearly done. Got some festive pearls. And let's cover up my stuff up there. Stuff up first and then we'll just fix everything else. All good. That's done. Now I'll show you the other cards I created and you can see, tell me what you like best. So this one was a combination of Pear Pizzazz, and I added some Parakeet Party, Soy Saffron, and Balmy Blue. Let me bring that lower. And a Balmy Blue card base. This one is Daffodil Delight, Calypso Coral, and Sweet Sorbet card base. And then this is the one we just made. You can see where I moved that main image up a bit. Coastal Cabana and Polished Pink and Highland Heather. Gorgeous Grape on a Highland Heather card base. So there's the 3 different cards. I hope you have enjoyed that and appreciate your time today. Thank you so much for joining me. Continue to enjoy all those presentations and have a lovely rest of the day. Thank you. Bye-bye.